may sound a little bit, well, may seem a little premature. Say, get in the garden. Say, Gabriel, it's January. It's not even late January. But you know what? One mistake that I have made in the past couple of years, was I kind of sat inside, prepared in the garden, looked at the seed catalogs, had a garden plan. Hey, this is what we want to. Hello, hello, Bridget Rose. We have been out here getting some work done, some early morning, early afternoon work here in the garden. And the title of this video may sound a little bit, well, may seem a little premature. Say, get in the garden. Say, Gabriel, it's January. It's not even late January. But you know what? One mistake that I have made in the past couple of years, was I kind of sat inside, prepared in the garden, looked at the seed catalogs, had a garden plan. Hey, this is what we want to plant. This is where we want to put it. But then I waited until it was a little warmer to be outside to get the garden ready. But by that time, I was needing to get seed started. I was needing to actually get beds planted to make sure that the weeds were, the weed seed bank was all down, that I was hand picking weeds. There was a lot to happen. There's a lot that happens come March or April, pretty much everywhere in the country, especially if you're in the southern United States. And so what our goal has been, one of the goals this year, has been get everything ready beforehand, so that when we're getting ready to start planting seeds, like our tomatoes and peppers here in 3 or 4 weeks, we can do that in peace, knowing that, hey, the beds are prepped, the beds are ready. And there's a couple things that we've been able to do, Bridget, and those things are, number one, get out there, get out in the garden. That's kind of the toughest part, because once you get out here, you get warm, and you start running around, you find old tomatoes that you want to chew on. I'm talking to you. But you have some fun. And so what we're doing here today is just pulling up some old tomato debris, and you can see the greenery there is unfortunately not a cover crop. So I'm gonna have to come in here with a scuffle hoe and just do some bigger weeding, and then we'll bring our compost and wood chips in. But we pulled up those tomatoes, and ideally, everyone, just to be clear, I'm gonna walk you over there. This is not the. You all right? We're getting ready to go in for some warm sweet potatoes, but this is ideally not the time to be doing this in the order. But this is what happens a lot of times: is you have tomatoes, you want to hold off and keep eating tomatoes until Thanksgiving, if weather allows, and we did, and all those different things. Where in reality, it would have been better to get those tomatoes out in October or September, when they had stopped producing a ton. And so what you'll see here is some tomato debris. Weeds in the beds because of how long they've been sitting there, chickweed that likes to just pop in, and so that's not ideal. Now we're gonna have to go in and do some weeding, and then we'll prepare those beds. What ideally would happen is you pull out a plant and you give a cover crop enough time to establish so that you don't have to worry about weeds. And so what you'll see behind me, and we've covered it in other videos, but behind me here is forage collards, African forage collards. And so we don't have to worry about weeding these beds because we had them planting. They're photosynthesizing all winter. They're smothering out any weeds, and they're offering us a food crop at very inexpensive. The seeds in these beds was probably about $2 altogether. If you buy bulk, even less expensive. And so understanding that, that this is the optimal method, so that when we're ready for this to come down, we can come in here with either just a hoe, or we can come in with a weed whacker or a push lawnmower at a low setting, chop this all down, either cover it for a while with a tarp or plant right into it with transplants. So that's optimal. Clearly, that's not what we've had done on some other spaces. And also, go ahead, plant carrots, plant cabbage, plant collard greens, because those are also great cover crops there for the winter time. But we just didn't have as many transplants as we would have liked. We had the seeds because we're saving our own seed. And so, as we said at the start, make sure you get out there in the garden. And then I'll say one other thing that is another option for getting things going is definitely tarping. Silage tarps have become very common in market gardens and home gardens. These beds have all been prepped. Compost has been laid on them, wood chips in the pathways, and I covered some silage tarps on these 8 or 9 beds here, and it's maybe 10 beds. And they are ready to go. Once the weather starts warming up, whether in the next 6 to 8 weeks for onions or in the next 2 to 3 months for tomatoes, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, anything you want, I can just pull these beds back one by one if I want, or all together. And so the worms are going to be active there. The soil's going to heat up a little quicker under those tarps. That is certainly an option. Best option, again, is going to be cover cropping if you have enough time and you're in a climate that allows for a non-winter kill cover crop, or even a winter kill cover crop that would create some sort of mulch. But nonetheless, we've given you some different options, Bridget Rose, haven't we? The big key. The key is what? Bridget, you know what the key is? What is it? Can you say, get out into the garden? That's the most important thing. Well, we love you guys. If you haven't already, you can hit the like button, share the video, whatever you want to do. But we love you, and we'll see you in another video very soon. Bye.